All Americans eligible should vote. More important than ever, the will of what the people in America want and need for the betterment of this country. The supreme law of the land is the United States Constitution. And unless it is changed through lawful channels, all citizens should respect the U.S. Constitution. Regardless of political party, whether left or right, whether conservative or liberal, regardless of race, religion, age, or sex, all citizens need to vote. And I'm attempting to show why voting is so important. The simple answer is still the word democracy. Democracy is defined as a form of government exercised either directly by the people or through their elected representatives, ruled by the majority, the practice of legal, political, or social equality. All Americans eligible should vote. More important than ever, the will of what the people in America want and need for the betterment of this country. The supreme law of the land is the United States Constitution. And unless it is changed through lawful channels, all citizens should respect the U.S. Constitution. Regardless of political party, whether left or right, whether conservative or liberal, regardless of race, religion, age, or sex, all citizens need to vote. And I'm attempting to show why voting is so important. The simple answer is still the word democracy. Democracy is defined as a form of government exercised either directly by the people or through their elected representatives, ruled by the majority, the practice of legal, political, or social equality. Here in the United States of America, we stand on two important words. The first word is republic, and the second word is democracy. We would not be who we are and where we are without these two words and understanding what they mean.
Republic is usually defined as a state in which the supreme power rests in the body of citizens entitled to vote and is exercised by representatives chosen directly or indirectly by them.
The United States flag, of which we pledge allegiance, stands for the republic, built on the next word, which is democracy. Without it, we would not be in existence as the United States of America.
Democracy is a form of government in which political power is vested in the people or the population of a state.
From a Webster's Dictionary 1996 edition, democracy is defined as a form of government exercised either directly by the people or through their elected representatives, ruled by the majority, the practice of legal, political, or social equality. This country's aim to liberty, according to President Abraham Lincoln, was intended to the citizens of this nation. In the conclusion of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address in 1863, he summed it up by stating the following:
that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
It was originally planned the people we elect or we put in office should work for us, the people that put them in office, not us work for them or do what they desire. They supposed to do for the will of the people of the United States. The first 10 amendments of the U.S. Constitution is called the Bill of Rights. The following simply explains the need of all citizens to have a voice in voting to preserve these rights, of which so many have fought and died for. you hear next will simply explain the Bill of Rights.
The First Amendment. You have the right to generally say what you want, practice whatever religion you want, or none at all, post your opinions for the world to see, protest peacefully, and complain to the government. The Second Amendment. You have the right to own a weapon to defend yourself. Usually we're talking about guns here. The Third Amendment. The military can't just show up and crash at your home and take over your stuff. The Fourth through Eighth Amendments deal with a hypothetical chronological encounter with the justice system. The Fourth Amendment. The government can't go through your personal stuff unless they have a warrant from a judge or a really good reason to assume you're doing something illegal. The Fifth Amendment. If you are arrested by the police, you have the right to know why you're arrested and the right to defend yourself in court. Oh, and you don't have to say anything that might get you into trouble. Also, you can't be put on trial twice for the exact same crime, and if the government takes your property, they have to pay for it. The Sixth Amendment. Well, it's just a sequel to the Fifth Amendment. You have the right to a fair and speedy trial. You have the right to confront witnesses who testify against you in trial. And you have the right to a lawyer, even if you can't afford one. The Seventh Amendment. If you're suing someone for a decent amount of money, you can have a jury decide the case, not just a judge. In other words, you can also get a jury in civil cases. The Eighth Amendment. A judge can't give you a crazy punishment or a really expensive bail to get temporarily released while awaiting trial. In other words, the punishment has to fit the crime. The Ninth Amendment. The Bill of Rights isn't a complete list. Just because a right isn't mentioned in the Constitution doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And the 10th Amendment. This one is about the power. All powers not listed in the Constitution automatically go to the states or the people. This is why states have their own laws on stuff like what gets taught in school or driver's license requirements.
We must encourage our young people to vote, being millennials or Generation Z or Gen Z. In other words, ages 18 through 45. This is the 36th President of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson.
It is to give all our people the right to choose their leaders. To deny this right, I think, is to deny democracy.
We should make it simple and convenient for all of our citizens to be part of the democratic process. It should not matter whether you're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. We should be able to participate in the democratic process. On March 7, 1965, I gave a little
This is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We must decide whether those words will be firmly etched into the structure of our nation, or whether we will allow our nation to be relegated to a second-rate power in the world with no moral voice. We must decide next Tuesday whether America will take the high road of justice and peace, compassion for the poor and underprivileged, or whether this nation will tread the low road of man's inhumanity to man, of injustice, of short-sightedness. Each of us has a moral responsibility, if we are of voting age and if we are registered, to participate in that decision. I come here to urge every person under the sound of my voice to go to the polls.
All who are listening, you need to do this now. Don't wait until election day. Check your current voting status. Be sure now, right now, your voting location hadn't changed. Encourage others to do the same. And help register young people of age to get registered now. Vote in all elections, city, county, federal, what have you. If you can have input into school elections or placing it. Do that too. If possible, provide rides to the polls. Be prepared and aware. You might have to stand in line a long period of time before you vote. But please vote. Have your official ID, if necessary, your birth certificate. If you've remarried or changed your name, that might be an issue. So check with your local people involved regularly with voting. They should be able to answer your questions. Prepare now, right now. Don't wait. But again, please vote. Don't give up on young folks. Try hard to encourage them to vote. Care for your neighbors. Care for their needs. Please. We must vote, and the more people involved, the better the United States.